long there, and I love the beginning of it. It turned into faces.
Yep.
All right, so it looks like the draft is truly ready now.
Yep, Kingan's woken up, and we are ready to go. I believe it was G-Sun that did everything because it's in my prompter that everything's ready, and so I assume.
Thanks for fixing that, G-Sun.
Thanks, G-Sun. You're the best.
A little bit annoying when it wasn't working. I'm glad you got it fixed.
It's amazing that she does like professional translation as well as production, and also fixes every tech issue.
Yeah,
here
it's
in Lolpod.
wild.
She's multifaceted, absolutely. Nico and Talia both going to be taken away here by Nongshim as we've got Pa to start this off. I wonder whether we're going to be paying. And I think that they will have to pay the Yanara tax.
I think so, unless they really want to play Wukong into it in game one, which they certainly could, but there's some discussion about it.
Yeah, I actually, maybe it's not even... Oh, okay, never mind, because if they pick Wukong, you don't even want to pick it. So I think you still have to lock it in.
Now that Wukong goes through, like, Yanara becomes a bigger threat later on in the draft. I think in game one, it's not always a 100% you have to ban it, but you have to warp your draft around it if you let it through. And I think because of that, sometimes, you know, it's like Wukong is gone, so maybe we could play Yanara, and then a lot of other tools are gone, so it just goes insane value. I feel like after game one, it almost should never be played, but teams have experimented, let's say, and it has gone awry.
I mean, if this was DK, they would have, like, just randomly locked on and Jarvan or something like that in that situation.
Yeah.
But so far, Nongshim have got some very powerful picks here. It will be the Aurora picked into the Rumble that we see plenty of times. Yeah, and the Galio has just been really strong.
It looks like it's flex picks, but it's really not. It's just a great response here. We have seen actually Galio top the Rumble as well.
Theoretically, it could be the way.
I don't think it will be in this particular game. As Jarvan...
Ooh, lock him in the barbecue?
Yeah, man, considered here. And this is obviously great to set up the Rumble for success. It's not a surprise that Perfect gets his best champion. Every time he has the opportunity to pick Rumble, he does. And this is something you can do when you leave Wukong up. If Wukong gets locked, you get the Rumble. So it's a solid draft here for KT on the outset. Some engage follow-up to the Wukong being taken away in that Rakan. That makes a ton of sense. Wukong, Rakan, so strong.
And we are going to see some of the more high-priority supports get through most likely. Bard being certainly a standout there. Of course, Nico is banned first, but there is the Elise taken away from Lehens. Still does have his Shen.
Yeah, doesn't want to deal with the volatility of laning into that, and makes melee supports playable, because playing melee support into Elise is really not fun. I like the respect that we're seeing here with the Duck Dom focus bans. Like, the Corki has been his best pick in my mind. And Sivir incredibly strong right now, especially when you have a Rise. They will just grab Peter's Alistar, as you say, in the R4 spot. It's often banned there, but they respected Duck Dom instead, and that's the tax they'll have to pay. Now, what are we seeing on this bottom lane? Lehens and Gio, you have insane engage. You also have a lot of peel, so you have a lot of different things you can do here. You can just go Zeri, for example, because their engage is somewhat situational, you know, it's somewhat conditional with the Jarvan. Tough to lock the Zeri down. You could go for that.
Yep. I believe it was Berserker that went for it, but it will be the Jhin in the end. A bit more susceptible to the Jarvan, but much better at standing a really long way away, as Lehens will be taking the Poppy. So not necessarily a lot of lane power, and this kind of opens the door for Duck Dom to play almost anything. I know Jhin can be a little bit rough to deal with in the early stages of the lane, but I don't think he's necessarily going to be going for 2v2 kills alongside a Poppy.
I think that the Ezreal is the best option. It's safe, and you want to be staying away from these Nongshim fights and dealing damage. It's kind of tricky, though, because the way Ezreal scales into the late game is a lot of damage, but sometimes if your front line gets wrecked before Ezreal gets to deal some damage, it can be really tough. Like, if you don't have control of the objective and Ezreal can't offer any poke before the fight starts, you might just get destroyed, because you only get one E. You get to E away, and then they still get on top of you and kill you. And so I think a lot of this composition success for KT needs to be on keeping a lead and keeping control over the game. Nongshim's comp is the better comp, air quotes, in terms of synergy. Like, it all works together well. It's all S tier. The Jhin follow-up for this insane engage and frontline is just exactly what the Jhin composition wants to have. They even have the Poppy in a safe matchup into the Alistar in the bottom lane where Poppy's not going to get punished, and it can do a lot for you in terms of objectives. So, you know, unlike the Poppy we saw yesterday from Carrier, where I was very worried that wasn't going to do a whole lot in that game, this time it's like a robust Poppy angle. They knew the support was face up in the Alistar. Really like the draft here from Nongshim a lot.
Yep, it certainly can work. If you do see the Poppy, I guess the Ezreal makes a little bit more sense as well because Arcane Shift doesn't have to worry about Steadfast Presence and things like that. Poppy into Jarvan can really make Jarvan's life hell. And Alistar can also be mitigated somewhat. Rumble, Ryze, and Ezreal all don't really care about it though, and I like the Ezreal just for the self-peel because it allows KT to just go in. And we'll see whether that's what they're going to do as we dive into the Rift for Game 1. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for game number 1. Peter giving a bit of a shout out to Wolf, probably one of his favorite streamers. The other Wolf, not the Wolf that is sitting next to me. So that's pretty cool. It's been a while since we've seen the SKT Alistar skin.
The biggest shout out Peter could have ever given me, which he did, was when Valdez and I made Peter Parker jokes the entire time in his debut,
yeah.
and then he did web slinging.
He did do the web slinging.
And like, he's never told me or Valdez that was a reference to us, but in my heart, I feel like someone told him that we were making Spider-Man jokes that whole time. And then he just had to give us a shout out.
And honestly, headcanon is canon.
Yeah.
Okay? And there's been nothing that has proven otherwise, and so therefore, that's what we're going to believe. And if someone has proof to the contrary, I would prefer it if you would just not tell us, because ignorance is bliss.
Exactly. Level 1 here. Dr. and Peter trying to get something out of it.
Famously, one of the worst level 1s in the game is Alistar Ezreal.
Yeah. But he is able to hit the Q on the Jew.
There we go.
That's the best you can really hope for. Gets another one on the Lehens. If Lehens is going to walk in this brush and not be behind the minions, the Qs can hit, and they will hit.
Yeah, he is able to get that sweep working. We'll be able to take down the ward, so there you go.
Much better for him now.
Yeah.
And it is just a level 1 push in here for the Jhin. They are going to get level 2 first and control that wave. BDD, is a player who this season hasn't had as many opportunities to play as Iconic Ryze, or sorry, not Iconic Ryze, Azir and Talia, because they're banned all the time. But I feel like I associate BD right now this season with the Ryze pick. Maybe that's why I misspoke there, because his Ryze has been insane. And he's had so many games where his Realm Orbs are game-defining, or he just does insane amounts of damage in late-game team fights after just spending so much time inside. Suddenly you're like, I forgot BD was in this game. He shows up and does like 9,000 damage in a team fight.
Yep.
And BDD will have to do a lot of damage in this game, I think, because like I mentioned before, the Ezreal has a lot of long-term damage, especially in the late game as hold-up. We're going to have a bit of an exchange.
Yeah, a bit of a pulverize there from Peter, but does get blocked from allowing that headbutt to do anything. He will take a fair bit of damage. Thankfully, can triumphantly roar and stuff like that, which should help him out, but it's not exactly making them feel fantastic in this lane at this point in time. Jarvan's certainly known for being able to get things done level 3, has actually hit that mark as he is looking to take down his last camp of the full clear, or second last, I guess, if you're going to count the crab.
If this was a Shen game, it would be such a quintessential Nongshim. Oh boy.
Alex going to get flashed on here. There's the Flagon Dragon. First blood goes to Cuz. And that was level 4, so a total lie, but it was a little bit after that. Yeah,
just slightly. As Calyx does get taken out, loses his flash as well in the exchange. So will not have it for follow-up, and this is not going to be... I mean, I was about to lead into, like, when I was talking about if this was a Shen game, it's so much dive, so much collapse, but it's also not a game where Calyx is likely to continue his solo kills on this Galio. Then he gets killed himself. Now he's down flash, and so I don't think he will be doing any solo killing in this matchup, in this game.
Yeah, the Galio already made that a little bit difficult.
Yeah, so... ends up taking a ton of damage here, going for the taunt at the worst possible time, then goes out, but still gets caught here by BDD's root after the flash. Cuz follows, flashes, and takes him out. So just a really nice punish there. Good pathing from Cuz, seeing an opportunity, seizing it.
Yeah.
And Jarvan gets a kill in the early game.
It's the perfect start. It's what you want to get, as you are a champion that is just generally good at getting things done in the early stages. Has now passed away from the bottom side of the map, going to be heading up towards Doran's favorite camp, and will be heading now down towards that bottom side. Perfect dealing with this lane swap scenario, though, as Nongshim have moved up towards his top side.
Oh, cannon! No!
Oh, disaster.
That's the worst feeling ever. The cannon's at like 5 health, and you're like, ah.
Sometimes, like, It's the worst, but when you're in a 2v1, I think you can get justified. Yes,
yeah, no,
minus
it's okay.
one's in the chat, obviously, but when you've got an excuse, it does feel a little bit better.
You could see like how he walked back towards it in agony. He's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, you could even see his arm was out, you know, he was reaching for it. And unfortunately, it just wasn't there. Speaking of things that aren't there, Calix's health bar. Sort of just kind of not there right now. As BDD just finding all the damage in the world.
Look at the links at which Calix had to go to get that last ranged minion. He's like, ooh.
Yeah, he's like pressing every single button just to survive. Meanwhile, BDD is sort of accidentally just wiping out minion waves and the Galio at the same time.
Like, because he has this permanently shoved and has boots, like, there's just not anything Calix can do. And because he trades with his health so aggressively and so favorably, Calix can't, like, ult in, so there's just no way they can get this dragon. Not even going to be able to show up to it. The lane swap made that pretty apparent. They weren't really intending to do that anyways. I think they know at this point in time where they're at their weakest. But, yeah, pretty rough start here for the lanes for Nongshim, and see if they can fight for grubs. As Perfect is going to hit level 6 shortly here. They're actually going to look for some damage onto Geo as well.
Yeah, Deadly Flourish does get avoided, but Gideon's making his way up. That's the angle they were looking for. Deadly Flourish was necessary, though, for setting that gank up, so Gideon not going to be able to make his way in. Only level 5, of course, so it doesn't exactly have all the power that he wants. It's, oh, another one! Bites the dust. At least that's a good song.
Yeah, it's a good song. I like it.
But we are 2 cannons down here for KT. They've fallen off the roller coaster, and you need those cannons to help perambulate the thing up the roller coaster, right?
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah,
it's rough.
Maybe it's a sign that the roller coaster's about to go down.
Let's not read into it too much, Alex.
Oh, I guess it was recently down though, because the Gen G series wasn't exactly a great look. So maybe it's just we're in a dip.
If you try to solve the Rolster coaster, you just you will get yourself stuck in an infinite loop.
Yeah, I think you just fall off the Rolster coaster in that case.
Is this going to be favorable here? Kingan's pretty low on mana. TP commitment from Perfect behind.
Yeah, so Kingan is going to try to stealth away, but he doesn't have very much of the blue stuff. Equalizer goes down, and well, it is down.
He did place it on the ground.
He did. He put it on the ground.
It went up because Equalizer goes up, and like the Rolster coaster often does, it went down as well.
It did go down.
Yeah. That's kind of, people don't realize Equalizer, it goes up and it comes down on the ground. It's like a little missile barrage.
Yeah, people also don't realize that you need to calibrate it, and that's precisely what Perfect was doing. He was calibrating it. Certainly needs to make some adjustments, I think, after that.
It's so funny because, when I saw him TP, I was like, well, I think I was looking at the mana for King, and I was like, I think all he has to do is hit him with an Equalizer and he dies for sure. And he did everything else right. Like, he got this harpoon slow first.
Yeah.
But, yeah, sadly did not quite hit the Equalizer there. Let's just say he was trying to mind game Kingan a little bit. Kingan didn't fall for it.
No.
Just kept walking the other way. It's okay. Well, these things happen. He got back in the lane. He didn't get the solo kill he was looking for.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if we just assume that the Equalizer wasn't used, it's fine. We'll just go from there.
And this is now, grub fight here potentially.
One of them does go over. Lehen's already taking a little bit of damage here. Is the Deadly Flourish not exactly deadly, but Gideon should still be able to get 2 of these to even out the trade of objectives thus far in this game. First Blood, of course, already going over to KT, so they do have that little advantage there. And the gold isn't exactly nothing in a 1,000 gold lead here for KT. Still, Nongshim absolutely fine, and do want to hit level 6. As there's the Between Worlds, and now it's Perfect that has to try and dodge out of the way of everything. And we'll be able to, oh, never mind. Won't be able to do so.
Yeah, didn't have his Equalizer back yet. I was trying to pretend like he just never used it at all, but didn't have it there, and just didn't have any defensive tools to get out, and just gets blown up. He gets hit by the weirding there at the end, which looked like it may have procced Electrocute at the final moment there as well, an additional time, and either way, the burst is enough. Down he goes. So that's really rough for Perfect, who had a tough time in the early lane, obviously 1v2. Didn't get the cannon. This is an Equalizer. Kingan solos him.
No, he calibrated an Equalizer.
Sure, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. We're going to check this one out from Kingan's perspective, though. Avoiding the harpoon. Doesn't avoid that one, but it is just pretty comfortable here.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at it. And yeah, it's the weirding and pullback.
Yep.
And it works out. Very, very nicely done. Peter taking a bit of damage here. Takes a shield to the back of the head, but he is otherwise absolutely fine. And that gold lead has dissipated somewhat, but there is certainly still a fair bit of control here. And if you have a look at the bottom of the screen, biggest number is for BDD.
Yeah.
And most of the time, if you're a KT fan, that's kind of where you want it.
Yeah, and that's generally like most of the time where it is.
Yeah.
And so you're once again relying on the man in the mid lane to carry. I really do appreciate, as I was going to say before Kingen decided to interrupt me by killing Perfect there, liked how KT handled that grub situation into the Wukong with level 6 there, or level 7 in fact, yeah, but he had his ultimate, that's really what I mean. Just trying to opt into that fight at that point was going to be a disaster, so they very carefully secured one grub and then decided to disengage. Was very smart. And don't fight Nongshim into this brawly composition at this stage when you don't have the setup to really fight it out. And that was a wise choice.
They now have the Sundered Sky, so KT are ready to go. You know, they're full build in the jungle, because just very, very happy about where things are sitting. And so maybe a fight around this dragon could be an opportunity. Maybe some double dragon on the cards here.
I think this is certainly a fight that, with the setups they have right now, they can look for. You know, they have this Alistar that's incredibly difficult to deal with. Getting the Wukong into position to contest is also going to be quite challenging. Perfect doesn't have TP, so it's not like he's going to be able to get a big advantage and join them. But I think with what they have, just in the straight-up 4v4 here, it is enough. They're very cautious. They want to try to perhaps catch or bait Calyx into a bad situation here first.
He's going to find the taunt onto BDD, though, and there's the flash in from Gideon. BDD flashing away. Let's see whether he can keep himself alive, as Nongshim looking to catch up to him, and he gets interrupted. The bullets were flying through. There was no way he was making it out of that one. So Nongshim, good little pick-off here, and another kill going their way. That should be pretty close to collecting a gold lead.
Yeah, for sure. It's getting very close. Just 100 is the lead right now.
BDD for Dragon, though, was the trade, so maybe it's not end of the world if you're a KT fan.
I do think the Infernal Soul is actually incredibly powerful for KT's composition, and it's going to give the Ryze so much late game power, as well as the Ezreal poke, just constantly on those late game objectives. They can pick up that soul, so pretty valuable. You can see, like, it looks like KT have this kind of decision where, at first, where they wanted to perhaps, you know, catch Calyx on the rotation, and then they decided to do the dragon instead, and BDD's just kind of up in the lane, and Nongshim can't really get to the dragon easily, but so they take the easy free kill here. BDD tries to go for the Realm Warp out, but is killed before he can utilize it, and so down he goes. And that was still, like you said, a dragon for BDD. They still secure the objective, and with the strong soul, they high-rolled with double dragon. They're probably feeling pretty okay with it.
Yeah, it does lead to an equalization of the gold. Not to be confused with Rumble's ultimate, but I don't think they're too worried about how this one's going. No feats of strength have been secured yet either, but they're one kill away on the Nongshim side and one objective away on the KT side. See who's going to be able to get that first turret to make it a true race between these two squads.
Dead even game right now.
Absolutely.
And even though you're down 2 dragons as Nongshim here, your composition fights so incredibly well.
Yeah.
So, you know, these 2 individual dragons aren't going to be really what make you feel like you can't fight. You absolutely still can. And I think they need to on these next objectives. The Herald, for example, could be a place where they really make a big stand and try to get the mid turret opened up a little bit.
Yep. You can see Dr. starting to play more aggressively, does have his Trinity Force done. I think getting him to his 2-item spike is going to be incredibly important. Him and Perfect hitting his first item is going to mean that they can potentially get some skirmishes to work out, as the equalizer will go down just to clear out the wave.
Cannon.
Oh dear. Well, he is going to be able to turn down the cannon. The weeding does come through, but they've held the wave. Between Worlds comes on down, and down goes the Rumble as well. It's all too easy here.
Yeah, there's just too many members there, even though he kills the wave.
All right, it's KT's turn. Let's see whether Calyx will be able to survive this one. There's the Pulverize. He's pretty tanky, but BDD does a fair bit of damage. There's the Unbreakable Will, and Peter will flash away to make sure that that one does work out. As, okay, Gio going to call the curtains, and Dr. is just going to take some pot shots, unable to get past the minion there.
That was very funny. Dr. like, well, I guess if you're going to keep channeling, I will Q at you.
Yeah.
The minion definitely sticking up for Gio, though, in that situation. So both of these scenarios, both of these dives are pretty simple, right? It's a 3-on-1. Perfect doesn't really have a lot of peel tools. He used his equalizer to clear the wave, but he still dove here, and it's just, I mean, it's Wukong Poppy, like, you're gonna die. Calyx, on the other hand, actually has a lot of peel tools. He has his taunt. Peter is going to be the one, though, taking the aggro, and he has Alistair with his ultimate, so he's totally fine. Flash at the last possible second there, and so they will be able to take him out and the turret with it. So it's a trade of turrets, but Nongshim got the first one, so Feats of Strength are theirs.
Yep.
And they are first to Herald as well with this incredibly strong composition for team fights in these scenarios. And like the Grubs, I think KT probably just have to opt out.
I mean, there's no Cyclone, no Between Worlds, and no Curtain Call, so it could have theoretically been an opportunity, but without Cataclysm and without Cuz, most importantly, they're not going to be able to contest. So it is a really good moment there from Gideon, able to lock that one down.
Yeah, the equalizer wasn't up for Perfect. Maybe if he has that, they commit either his teleport in or he just walks over. Galio obviously had his ult, so could match that rotation, but I think that Nongshim were just a little bit too well set up, even with those ultimates offline. They were coming up soon if the fight had gone longer. Like, KT just had too many question marks for committing to that one, and I think it was wise to give it up. Now, how this gets utilized, I think, is going to be very important here, because it could be used just for prio on this next dragon that spawns in 40 seconds. Try to get that crash in mid and look for that same type of team fight. This time, all those ultimates you mentioned that are down are up. And I think Nongshim absolutely should not give KT Rolster the opportunity to get Soul Point here. They should definitely group and fight.
Yep, this is going to be the one that they're going to try and deny, as Cuz not going to be able to stop Lehens here. Steph's presence is not exactly the best friend of a Jarvan.
And the Rumble has TP, the Galio has ult, but no TP, so, you know, Perfect can, as long as he's away from the Galio, TP in and make this a advantageous fight. So Calyx needs to start rotating over. He is now. And Nongshim really need to be quick about how they do this, because the longer this goes on, advantage KT.
Yep, and Gideon wants to go back by the looks of things. Does actually cancel it in the end. We'll be chilling here in this brush. But KT feeling pretty ready for a fight by the looks of things.
KT actually get this dragon.
It's a huge deal.
It's kind of insane with the setup that Nongshim have right now. It's really just that Galio that's a small issue here. He doesn't have the TP, but I think he should just be ready to head over now and start this up. I mean, they have all the tools. I mean, Gideon even has Flash for his engage. They have so many ways to turn off this dragon and win a fight.
Yep. Banana Brush control coming in here for KT, as well as Peter. Taking a little bit of damage, but he's a cow. He should be okay with how this is going. Still, Nongshim moving over. They get the Aurora here first. BDD on the angle. Can actually get himself in there with a Realm Warp, but his health bar isn't exactly the highest. As Kingin finds an angle towards Cuz. He might be able to get in and make this one a 50-50 as the Equalizer comes down much better this time, as the Aurora is just picked off, and Gio is frontlining for some reason. There is the Soul Point, but they take down Docdom. But the real carry is BDD, and he's doing so much work. Gideon is going to get slammed down by the Cataclysm, and KT finding themselves the team fight win. An aggressive flash will get a response out of Calyx the same way, and Lehens just running for the hills.
There's just no confidence with the play of Nongshim here in this, and KT just sees the opportunity. They're like, okay, well, we're going to strike first. And it was just a really great call there. They end up getting the dragon as well. Perfect stands on top of it with his Q running, and Cuz is like, all right, we can time this together, get the secure, take the dragon out, get that insta-kill as well at the beginning of the fight. And goodbye Kingin, goodbye Dragon, and now Soul Point is KT Rolsters here.
Soul Point and outer and inner in mid gives them so much control over the next dragon.
And Kingin ults here, and they just instantly blow him up. Calyx does not ult in to try to save him. Like, Calyx is at the back of this fight watching an Ezreal, taunts him eventually, but otherwise really does nothing in this fight. BDD does a ton of damage. And by the time the curtains are called here, the fight is practically over. Cuz fantastic flash forward as well here to secure that kill. And now, you're on the wrong side of the fight, you're losing even more sums. And remember, Nongshim were there first. They had the Galio rotated over, perfect TP to the turret, so it wasn't there right away. They could have, I really feel, started that dragon much earlier, looked for a turn, but just kind of waited around, and then by the time Kingin ulted, KT were like, we're in a perfect position to just blow this guy up.
And one thing that I do really need to mention is that Equalizer was far better calibrated.
Yes.
So there we go. That's why you got to do it. As Peter is taking a bit of damage here. Yes, this Aurora is quite scary, but not as scary if you just blow her up in the first 2 seconds of the fight.
You know, we've talked a lot about BDD recently, and for a while we were talking about, oh, it's BDD and Cuz, but then Cuz kind of got quiet for a little while. It's not like he was having bad games, but BDD was just having insane games, and Cuz kind of got left out of the conversation. But in this game, man, Cuz is really running the show. Like, he is 4-0. He is all of the kills, but his play has been phenomenal. As Kingen is
I was looking a little bit. Yeah, he certainly was doing some interacting. As Doctom is going to get support from the Realm Warp. Will be BDD is coming over and taking down Shelly. So not exactly the highest value on the Rift Herald, as Nongshim did lose so much tempo in that last Dragon play. 1.5k is the gold lead. They do have feats of strength, but that looming Dragon problem that they have is just going to be there for the rest of the game, or they have to deal with a Rise with Infernal Soul and Ezreal with Infernals, not to mention Rumble as well.
Yeah, I mean,
like, you barely even need to hit your Equalizer if you've got the Infernal Soul. Just your Flame Spit are going to be enough. As Peter walking over a whole bunch of stuff, but he'll be fine.
It's kind of a weird fight. Like, the Otacon is up, but I don't think either team can realistically take it. We're just posturing around it.
We're river ramming.
Yeah, like we really are. BDD does not have Realm Warp and is on the wrong side of the fight. He's gonna have to catch this wave. Like, Nongshim, this is how you should have postured on that last Dragon. There is no Dragon here, Nongshim. They're gonna do Otacon. Okay, this is actually kind of insane. Now, BDD doesn't have Realm Warp, but they do not have control of that bottom wave. He's backing. They may just get away with this. It's so crazy. It just might work, Atlas.
Well, they just don't have enough damage. This is the problem with Jhin compositions as well, right? You don't necessarily have the same DPS. But that Otacon was not going down quickly. They did not want to risk it. As all right, between worlds there for Kingen, but the Pulverize is going to protect Doctom this time. Peter now just standing in front. Equalizes relatively good, but Doctom gets stunned up. The barrier shouldn't be enough. Gideon still going to melt, but it is a 2-for-1, 3-for-1 trade. And Nongshim back in the game.
King is tired of waiting, man. He's going to make something happen in this game. He tried to do it on the last Dragon fight. Does it here. Cuz on the wraparound looking for a potential steal here with BDD. Where they could actually turn this into a fight. Like, this absolutely could be a disaster here for Nongshim if they don't play it well.
I mean, it's 2 versus 4. Surely not.
They know. Kingen is 100% aware.
Yeah, Kingen is just going to bounce over. And Cuz has just backed away, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we don't have vision. Nongshim, they think that they have an idea. There's the flag. Pings are going to come on through there for Nongshim, but down to 2,000. And there it is. The Otacon will be secured.
My God.
That was, okay, still trying to go for it here as Lahens will get taken down. Cuz holding them in the Cataclysm. Another knockoff.
What the hell is that?
This guy's Jarvan is insane.
What the hell was that, Cuz? Man, that second flag almost gave me a heart attack when that Otacon was low, and then he just comes in and he's like, I wasn't looking for the objective, Wolf.
Yeah, we need to thank Otacon for tanking Nongshim for him.
Yeah, oh my God. This was a really decisive fight for Nongshim, very smartly played by him.
And now they just get another one as Gideon is dead.
Cuz, by the way,
this is the new way to use Otacon.
Yeah, so Cuz had Cleaver for that last fight. Like, he was on 2 items because he has, he had 4 kills.
Yeah.
He picks up 2 claw armors. He is so huge in this game. Like, it's actually absurd, the amount of money he has.
He's 4 levels ahead of Lahens here. He's just trying to keep tabs on what Cuz is doing in this game. It will be secured there. Doctom also going to grab himself a blue buff from the enemy team.
Look at this moment here. Lahens is incredibly low. Cataclysm's 3, including Lahens, who he instantly kills. He's so tanky, gets the double knockup gear, and then the rest of KT show up, and that's the fight. Like, Cuz just the whole time he's like, no, this is not a Otacon angle for you guys. There's just no way. I'm gonna punish you. And Gideon gets found here. Cuz not involved in this one, but Gideon is just, he's got nothing. His Cyclone is just about to come up, but I don't think it really would have saved him in this scenario anyways. Might have helped his teammates get over, but end of the day, he's picked as well, and his gold lead's getting big, and it's Infernal Soul.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm starting to think that maybe if BDD and Cuz had it just hard committed, maybe they could have found it, as Cuz is going to be able to take his red buff, and now Gideon looking to try and find some revenge, and Cuz will get shut down. Massive amounts of money over to Gideon. It's Cuz turns those 2 cloth armors into a GA. Man, he was sitting on an entire bank.
Yeah, no, it's actually crazy. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if we've seen a Jarvan get this big before. Like, I don't know if this has ever happened before. Like,
this is actually
this
what,
is unknown territory.
Yeah, this is the well. They also have Infernal Soul as well. So
yeah, his flag's
going to be even bigger as BDD just scaring the living daylights out of King in there. Who will be able to go between the worlds. Peter having fun with some Hex Flashes. I don't think they're diving just yet. Oh god, Infernal Ezreal is revolting.
It's just insane. Like, any single poke he lands just starts to chunk you.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm memeing a little bit about flag poke, but like, I don't know. He's got a lot of items.
I mean, you were there for, like, the life Jarvan meta,
yeah.
as we know.
It's
popularized by Spirit, of course.
I thought it was popularized by Keyson.
That too. Thank you very much, PogLab, once again.
So they got something back there on the red buff. But anyways, back to live where that doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
This is a absolute stomp. It's only 2,000 gold to lead, but it's the Infernal Soul that you cannot quantify the value of in terms of money.
Yeah, I mean, there is also the Otacon that is helping them stay at least even on levels.
Yeah,
even Jiu does have an advantage, as does Kingen, like you were saying. But BDD, despite all that, his Rod of Ages kicked in. He's got a Void Staff. I mean, this Ryze doesn't have any kills, but he has the money, and he has the levels.
And the Infernal Soul. It's just very scary.
Yeah. Cuz also has zero fear. Steadfast Presence is going to be there, but it may not be there every time, as Kingen is just burning down to Peanut. Peanut? Perfect. Another one starts with P. Peanut, of course, was playing a few days ago.
Well, when you got Peter in the game as well, it just starts to
There's a lot of Ps, aren't there?
A lot of PEs.
Yeah.
I loved PE in school. It was great.
You're a PE fan?
Yeah, I did enjoy to go outside. And when it was dodgeball day, it was the best day ever. Those other kids you don't like very much, oh, you finally get to throw something out.
Yeah, true. I liked it until I started feeling self-conscious about being too sweaty at school. That was when I lost my love of PE.
Oh, because you were too sweaty? Like, you were like hardcore into PE, or you mean like actual body sweat?
Actual body sweat.
Oh, okay.
No, I was never that into PE.
Oh, I thought you were like, I was like actually going to become a jock. Like, I was so sweaty at PE, I was like running extra laps and trying to impress the girls.
I liked swimming. Swimming was my thing. And the sweating issue is not going to be actually as much of a problem.
Yeah.
So that one was definitely fun.
You know, right now, this game is kind of like dodgeball for Nongshim, because if Duckdom hits a Q, they're out. It's pretty crazy. Watch them hit the minions, they disappear.
Yeah, there's no, you get no extra lives in this version of the dodgeball.
Oh yeah.
It's certainly a bit man with a golden gun type situation here, to make a GoldenEye reference in 2025.
This is quite a bad game state for Nongshim. Again, the gold makes it look like, if you just look at the top of your screen, you're like, oh, that's not so bad. You look a little bit lower, you see the Dragon's like, ooh, it's pretty bad, but maybe it's not really, no.
Yeah.
The thing about this is, dude, the Ezreal is so safe, and because he has Infernal Soul, remember I talked earlier, like, sometimes if you can't get the chip damage done, like, you might just get hit by a Cyclone.
Wow.
It's just one
King, and you could just go and take it, man.
That was giving me stress.
I think he was feeling embarrassed by the fact that he didn't manage to hit the weirding, so he's just like, no, I'm just gonna leave. I don't even want to look at you.
I think he's a little bit scared about Cuz jumping out of a bush and killing him.
Honestly, understandable.
He's like,
we've got 30 seconds until Elder as well.
Yeah.
And speaking of Cuz in a bush, Gideon's gonna find him, but he's not very scared.
So if Nongshim can actually get on this objective first and look for a turn, like there's some hope, right? Like it may be a chance here. As Gio really wants to hit that 4th shot, but I think you should stay away.
They are very grouped up, but Lehens exists, right? And he can make things very annoying with that Steadfast Presence, denying the Jarvan engage. And that's why they are sitting on top of him. Calyx is a little separated from the rest of his team. Thankfully can rush phasefully to try and get himself out of here.
Calyx handled that situation really well.
He did.
Nongshim kind of split now, though. Cuz looking for the angle.
Yep, Deadly Flourish gonna connect there onto Peter, but he just holds on. There's the Cataclysm, and boom goes the Jhin. I didn't even get to number 4 there at all, as the Realm Warp is going to deliver BDD. Out he goes, but they've got enough DPS still here. And yeah, he didn't go far enough. Gideon gonna get taken down by the Ryze on his way back through, and KT should be able to lock up the Elder.
Yeah, and with the Elder, probably just the game, because it's Elder, Infernal Soul, and they could just Like, Duckdom will actually just kill them with like 2 Qs. They can go get Baron as well, so that they can push with Exodia, with the Soul, and just say, all right, like, defend this, by the way. I think they like, kind of could have done anything. They almost could have just ended off of the team fight win and not done Elder, but they're going to do all 3. Team fight win plus Elder, and now Baron.
Yeah, Kingen, of course, does have a fair bit of wave clear as well, so it can make things a bit annoying without Baron. But with Baron, the Aurora certainly not going to be enough, and even if the push doesn't end the game, they'll have so much money that it should just be a done deal anyway. I am still kind of blown away by the use of the Otacon there.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not something that's very replicatable. Like, you know how, like, I don't know, you're watching a TFT tournament, for example, and you're like, I just want to do that build, but often it's based on the augments that you get, the items that you get. You can't hard force every time. So this does require a 4-0 Jarvan, but if you ever get into that spot, you just allow Otacon to tank them for a while and then kill them all, I guess. Use it as a bait strategy to lock down Soul.
How bad of a game 2/3 does Cuz have to not get palm? Like, I don't know. I think he's already got it locked up.
We were saying that yesterday as well, but Showmaker still got it. So I have no idea what is necessary to get a game 1 performance POM.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's already got it for me. Like, I think he gets it even if Nongshim wins the series.
Oh, wait, actually, junglers can do it, can't they? Because Lucid managed to do it from the Xin Zhao game. So maybe there's hope. Realm Warp,
cowardly Realm Warp.
Get them to the bottom side of the map. They've got some minions here as well that they get to bring with them.
They're just running circles around Nongshim. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's not fair when... Okay, well, there is a little bit of fairness injected. Never mind.
That's a Realm bump.
Yeah, Cuz is like walking away. He's like, why am I walking away? Yes, there's 3 less people here with me, but I'm worth about 7, I guess.
I mean, that ult from Lens bought a few seconds off the Elder, and that's what they're looking for. Redemption.
There's still 30 more of those, as in goes Peter looking for an angle. The Equalizer will just zone them away from this turret because he doesn't care about that. Cataclysm comes down, the Dragon eats the Poppy. The Alistar will go down, but there's a GA on this Jarvan, and BDD is just launching fireballs at Nongshim. And it will be perfect. It locks down the kill onto the Galio. Duckdom taking a couple of pot shots for BDD. He's happy to tank this one up. Duckdom not so much, but that is the last shot. And down they will go. All of the Dragons are just attacking Nongshim here as BDD goes golden even to make sure that he isn't going to die. And the Nexus will follow suit. KT, an absolute shellacking in the end there. Nongshim kept it interesting. But after that Otacon play from Cuz, it was all over.
It just really felt like the only person who showed up in that game was Kingen in a few moments. Otherwise, KT just got whatever they wanted, and they took it by force. Jarvan took it by force, man. Cuz was unreal.